So it is time for us all to get into a mega mood so we can make a mega move. It's time for us to get into a mega frequency so that we can get into sequency. It's time for us to get into mega groove so we can have mega energy. It's time for us just generally to raise our awareness so that we can raise our energy to a higher level and be able to move out in leadership and do what we need to do. It's time for us to let our consciousness move across the face of this earth, just like where it said in Genesis, the first chapter of Genesis, and the Spirit, the Lord, moved across the face of the waters and said, "Let there be a light, and let there be form, and let there be things brought together. Let there be creative ideas. Let there be creation. Let there be images, and let there be forms. Oh, yes, holograms, new holograms. Oh, brand new holograms. Holograms full of energy. Holograms full of power. Holograms full of light. Holograms full of peace. Holograms full of prosperity. Holograms full of power. Power and strength and authority to take charge. Authority to lead out. Authority to bring this world together into a prosperous, abundant state. Time for us to move into a period of a great and exciting adventure and energy. It's time to get a hologram of energy and a hologram of high frequency and high vibration. And so I'm going to, before I get into any higher vibration, I'm going to turn Tanya Love loose so that she buttresses that and keeps it going and keeps it spiraling. And I'm going to get in a groove with her and in a frequency with her. And I'm just going to let her move me on up. I'm going to relax my own mind and relax my own tongue and begin to drink all my wonderful coffee and eat my breakfast. I got to stop sometime and eat breakfast. You know, I can't just keep on talking. Be glad to talk on here all day, you know, except it takes a long time to even upload these things anyway. And so I had to reserve time for that. And then I have to eat my food on point. I haven't raised my consciousness to that point. I'm working on it, but I haven't quite got to the point where I can stop eating. So I'm going to eat my wonderful breakfast and rest my mind and let Tanya Love just keep me climbing on up. And she's just all fired up and ready to go, and I'm ready to just let her out of the chute and let her begin to buck up that awareness and that frequency while I fix this nice, beautiful. Oh, I got so many nice flavors. I just wonder which one I'm gonna choose from. You know, it's whoa. I've got. These are all from Organic Gold. Oh, that's a wonderful company. It provides marvelous coffee, all kinds of different flavors for every mood and every energy level and every frequency you're in. They provide something for it, and none of it has to have any caffeine in it. I mean, they can raise your happiness and your well-being, state of well-being, and everything without any caffeine. They've got this natural uplifting herb called Ganoderma lucidum that they just figured out a way to just infuse it. As the coffee bean grows, it's just infused and grows right along with it and just is totally infused in that coffee bean and develops, and so that it is just securely packed within that, and every coffee bean has it, and so that means every drop of coffee that you drink, you're just drinking in health, and as it says here, drink in a cup of in the sunshine. Every drop just to give you that sunshiny feeling. So it's a marvelous coffee to drink, and I'll probably drink that this morning, but I've got to choose between that and my it's coffee mocha. It's nice chocolatey flavored. That's just the right amount. I mean, it's just got just exactly the right amount of chocolate already mixed in the coffee, so you don't have to worry about a lot of stirring and mixture. You just pour that in, add the water, and you're gone with your nice combination coffee chocolate flavor and all of that, you know, your chocolate flavor to lift your mood, your coffee to give you that sense of well-being, and all the Ganoderma you can need, and it's just so marvelous, and so I may drink that later, and I know I'll drink some of this Cafe Supreme. I mean, it's just that they got the right title for that. I mean, it is supreme. Oh yes, it's just they've just really put in a nice recipe into that, a nice malty flavor, and it's let's see, what does this say? Okay, yes, and it has just a marvelous taste that you won't believe. And so I'm going to try that later. I'll also have that later this morning, and then I have plenty of this black coffee that I can carry along with you. It just fits right in my shirt pocket, and I just enjoy these little things because they're so small and compact, and they don't weigh anything, and just so small and compact, and you know you got the right one when you see the little O going through the G there with the red, and you just put it in your. It just goes right in there. I mean, nothing. It doesn't even take anything space away from your pen or anything, and just carry it right along with you. Put them in your coat pocket. Goes right along with you all the time. Wonderful stuff. And I've also got this cafe latte, which is better. Oh, it's much better than anything you can get at the Starbucks. I mean, well, I know how good that Starbucks latte tastes, and I know how it tastes when I mix ice cream in my coffee and have a coffee a la mode and all. And this just already has all that in it, and just tastes just like you've already got your ice cream and everything in there, and it's just a nice, relaxing feeling to have on these wonderful evenings, these nice, romantic, adventure, chanting evenings after we've really got our frequency going and we're ready to relax down now and read our books, our good, wonderful books like this, Getting into the Vortex by Esther and Jerry Hicks, and getting ourselves into that time of abundance, and getting ourselves into a relaxing mood to enjoy a nice movie or a nice music, and it just goes right along with some nice smooth jazz and all, and just tastes really marvelous. So I'll have that later on this evening uh, at that time. I think I'll just start out with this Columbia roast though, and because I just love the way they've got these nice little K cups, nice little brew cups with with all that flavor. I mean, that's natural ground coffee in there. I mean, it's just regular ground. It's not the instant or anything. It's just a regular ground coffee, but it's just vacuum sealed and sealed inside that. So none of the flavor, none of the goodness, none of the wonderful chanting flavor can escape anywhere out of it until you punch your hole, and then by that time you've already got your water. See, you put your water in first, and then you bring your base up here, then punch your hole, and you're just ready to shoot it right on down in your cup. Nothing's wasted. No, none of the aroma, none of the flavor goes out into the air, and so that's just a marvelous deal for me. And let's just get. I mean, that's just that just reminds me of the way the source, infinite mind, just comes in, and boy, when you get your regularly into that frequency every day and begin to receive those thoughts every day, after a while it just begins to get vacuum packed into you, where you just it don't take you but a second to get into the groove, to get into the frequency. It don't take you but a second to get back into that uplifted feeling, because I mean you've gone over it enough. It's packed in there. And so let's get to, I'm going to get to Tanya Love, turn her loose, and then I can fix and drink my coffee and breakfast while she's talking for a while. And I know she'll keep that mood. She always keeps my mood just sparkling and going on, and I can just go about my business. And as I work during the day, I just keep her on the background, and she just keeps that frequency just moving and grooving and going and flowing. And and I never can believe it. I always think, oh boy, I've got to the highest height, now, and yet she comes up with a new idea that just raises it a little bit more. So I'll definitely want to turn her loose here, and watch her buck and watch her scream and hang out the frequency this morning. Okay, Tanya, give it to me. She will.
Good afternoon, everyone. It's Tanya Love's show, and I'm Tanya Love, and I welcome you today. I'm so excited for those of you that are connecting with me. I'm feeling so much better because last time I did the live show, I wasn't really feeling great.
Feeling good, looking good.
I was watching the video and I just seemed stuffy. So I apologize, but you know what? Sometimes we just have these human things, and I got a little sick, and I'm feeling amazing now. So glad to be back to my normal high vibrational self. Real quickly, I'm just going to give all of you the number in case any of you want to call in, because the first person to call in today, I will do an angel reading for. And the number is 919-518-9773. And then you can also chat in live. So just if you're watching and you're not sure how to do that, just put any name in that little box. It could be your real name. It could be your alter ego today. It doesn't matter if you want to stay anonymous, but I welcome any of your questions or comments. So join us today in the chat. We can get a conversation going. So it was interesting because this week, a lot of times they'll have like a few days before the show, I just get a strong feeling of what I'm going to be talking about. And I hadn't got that feeling yet. And last night I was trying to fall asleep, and I was just laying in bed, and I was kind of like, angels, I have not had any sense of what I'm talking about tomorrow. So it'd be really cool if you'd let me know, like, what is it that we're going to be discussing for the show tomorrow. And so last night, when I was going to sleep, I kind of set that intention, and I share that because we can all do this, and it's really powerful when you get in this habit of asking Spirit a question, like at dream time. A lot of us can tune into that subtle energy better in our dream state, and we can learn to do it all the time. Like I do it now, whether I'm going to sleep, whether I'm dreaming, whether I'm awake in this dream. I'm connecting, but there was a time where I was more aware in my dream state of messages from angelic realms and things, and I wasn't as much aware of it in this waking dream. So if you're in that place, I encourage you to talk to your angels at nighttime, talk to your spirit guides, and ask them to just bring you confirmation or bring you messages of whatever they're trying to say, and just be in that place where you're setting an intention to listen, and it can be really powerful. So anyway, last night I had asked them, and this morning when I woke up, I literally, as soon as I woke up, I just had consciousness streaming in, and the words were time to rise, self-esteem, self-worth, self-love. And I just was like, awesome, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about why it's so important for us to have self-love and to feel a sense of deep self-worth and self-esteem. And what does that really even mean? How is it going to help us evolve and grow? And so as I got that message coming in, I also was remembering a dream that I'd just been having, and it was very vivid. And I often dream in very vivid dreams, but I sat up and I immediately started to write a message to myself about the dream, because otherwise they kind of fade away and we forget. And in the dream, there was a woman I was helping, and she was in a hotel room. I just remember she was in a hotel, and she was very sad, very upset, because she had been betrayed by her love. And apparently they had planned to go to this hotel in my dream, and they were going to be together, and he ended up betraying her and leaving her, and it never happened. He never showed up, and she was so angry in the dream, she just destroyed the hotel room, and it was vivid. It was like a movie. It was so realistic. And so I woke up kind of like, what is that? And I remember in the dream me talking to her and just explaining to her that, you know, life is something that is always about change, and that life will bring us what we need to grow and to evolve. And sometimes we as humans have these plans, and we have this agenda of what we feel is supposed to happen or what we want to happen with somebody. And sometimes we can get disappointed because that plan doesn't line up and doesn't match up with what Spirit has in store for us. And so the ultimate message of this dream that I wanted to talk about on the show today was living in trust, like really embracing this feeling of deep trust. Amen. And as we learn to do that, as we learn to realize that the universe is totally supporting me. So if I, Tanya, am looking out of the eyes of that awareness of, you know what, no matter what's going down out here, I am supported. And even if things are falling away, if people are acting insane, if, you know, whatever is appearing in my movie, if it's good or bad, as we like to label things with judgment, it doesn't matter what's happening. It's what do I do with what's happening? So if something comes to me